Okay, so I bet you're looking for a side hustle. One that's a little more exciting than the usual online surveys and data entry gigs.
Something with earning potential.
Yeah, something with serious earning potential.
Something that not everyone is doing.
Exactly. Not everyone. And their dog's already doing it.
Right.
Well, today we're diving into a YouTube video by Joshua Mayo, and he claims to have just the thing.
Oh,
Yeah, he outlines 4 uncapped side hustles for 2024,
okay.
each with the potential to bring in $900 or more per day.
Per day.
Per day. Now, I have to admit, I was a little skeptical at first.
$900 a day, that's a bold claim.
It is a bold claim, but instead of just dismissing it, we figured, let's take a closer look.
Okay, see if there's any substance behind the hype.
Exactly. So his first side hustle idea is trash can cleaning.
Trash can cleaning.
I know, it doesn't exactly sound glamorous.
It doesn't.
But Mayo makes a pretty convincing argument that this ick factor is precisely what makes it such a great business opportunity.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so he brings up a point that I thought was interesting.
Okay.
He saw a post on Nextdoor
Uh-huh.
where someone was raving about a local trash can cleaning service.
Okay.
And all the comments were full of people saying things like, "Where has this been all my life?"
Wow. So
No.
there's a demand.
Huge unmet need.
People are busy. They value convenience.
And let's face it, nobody enjoys cleaning their trash cans.
No, they don't.
So what's really appealing about this hustle is the low barrier to entry.
Okay.
Mayo breaks down the startup costs. And you basically just need a decent pressure washer,
Yeah.
some cleaning supplies,
Mm-hmm.
and flyers to advertise your services.
Flyers. Okay.
And he even suggests getting cheap, effective flyers in bulk for as little as 11 cents each.
Wow. Okay.
And then when you consider the potential pricing,
Yeah.
$35 per can for monthly cleaning, plus $10 for each additional can, the math starts to look pretty attractive.
Yeah. You start thinking, how many houses could you realistically service in a day?
Right. And even if you could manage just a dozen homes, that's potentially a few $100s right there.
Yeah. And if you're really efficient and build up a solid client base, hitting that $900 a day mark might not be as far-fetched as it initially seemed.
No, it might not be. So the potential is there.
Definitely.
But what about the downsides? I mean, there's got to be some competition, right?
Yeah.
Plus, it's physical labor and, well, you're dealing with trash.
Yeah, those are all valid concerns, of course. It's definitely not a job for everyone.
Right.
But Mayo's argument is that often the less glamorous the job, the less competition you'll face.
That's true. That makes sense. And, even though it might not be the most appealing work,
Yeah.
there's something to be said for providing a service that people really need and appreciate.
Yeah, making their lives easier.
And their neighborhood's cleaner.
Absolutely.
And there's a certain satisfaction that comes from running your own business, setting your own hours, and being your own boss.
I can see that.
Okay, so trash can cleaning might be a viable option for someone who's not afraid of a little hard work and doesn't mind getting their hands dirty. But let's move on to Mayo's second side hustle idea, print-on-demand canvas art.
Okay.
This one immediately caught my attention because, full disclosure, I am not an artist.
Okay.
But the cool thing is you don't actually have to be.
Interesting.
What's fascinating about this hustle is how it leverages existing platforms and trends.
Okay.
Mayo talks about using services like Printify, which handles all the production and shipping for you.
Oh, cool. So you don't have to worry about that.
You can just focus on the creative side, coming up with designs, and marketing your products.
Okay.
And the art itself doesn't have to be super complex either.
That's good.
Mayo mentions the popularity of motivational quotes on canvases, pop culture references,
Sure.
and even just striking images that you find online.
Oh, so you could really just use anything.
He uses the example of those Mickey Mouse ear headbands that are so popular right now.
Yeah.
You can bet there are people out there making a killing selling art prints related to those.
Oh, that's smart. I never thought about that.
And the best part is you don't need to invest in any inventory up front.
Oh, that's nice.
You only pay for the production and shipping when someone actually places an order.
That's a really low-risk way to test the waters and see if there's a market for your design.
Exactly. And get this, Mayo shares a story about a former dental assistant who turned this exact hustle into a 6-figure business on Etsy.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's incredible to see how someone can take a simple idea and transform their entire life.
It really is a testament to the power of creativity and hustle.
And utilizing online platforms to reach a global audience.
Yeah, of course, it's not as simple as just slapping a design on a canvas and waiting for the money to roll in.
Right. You still need to do your research.
Find a niche.
That resonates with people and learn the basics of marketing your products effectively.
Yeah. But it's inspiring to see that it is possible to achieve that level of success with a side hustle like this.
Exactly. And what's really valuable about Mayo's story is that it highlights some key skills that are transferable to any side hustle, whether it's print on demand, art trash can cleaning, or something else entirely.
Oh, that's a great point. Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Yeah. So what are some of those key skills that stood out to you?
Well, for starters, the dental assistant who built this successful business clearly had a knack for product research.
Yeah.
She was able to identify a popular trend, those Mickey Mouse ears, and create designs that people were actually searching for and willing to buy.
That makes sense. You
Yeah.
can't just create something you think is cool.
Right,
You need to make sure there's an actual demand for it.
exactly. And beyond product research, she also had to develop a strong brand identity
Uh-huh.
and create compelling product listings that would stand out on Etsy. That's a valuable skill set that applies to any online business.
And I imagine customer service played a big role in her success as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Building a loyal customer base is key for any business.
Especially when you're selling online.
Right, so she probably had to be responsive to customer inquiries, handle shipping issues gracefully, and maybe even go the extra mile to make sure her customers were happy.
Right, exactly.
So even though this specific story was about print-on-demand art, the underlying skills, product research, branding, customer service,
Yeah,
are really valuable for anyone looking to start a successful side hustle.
absolutely. It's all about recognizing those transferable skills and figuring out how to apply them to your own unique business idea.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential, the challenges, and the valuable skills involved in the print-on-demand art hustle.
Now let's move on to Mayo's third side hustle idea, which I have to admit I was particularly intrigued by.
Okay, this one is a bit under the radar.
Okay.
And it might not be something you've ever considered as a money-making opportunity before,
Yeah.
but I think you'll find it quite fascinating.
All right, lay it on me. I'm all ears.
Think about all the times you've been on Amazon looking at a product and you see those video reviews.
Oh, yeah?
You know, the ones where someone's unboxing the product or demonstrating how it works? I watch those all the time, especially for tech gadgets. I always find them super helpful.
Right.
But wait a minute, you're not telling me that those people are getting paid for those videos, are you?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And here's the
Yeah.
best part. They get a commission if someone watches at least 30 seconds of their video and then buys the product or even a similar product on Amazon.
Hold on, let me get this straight. If I make a video reviewing, say, a new smartphone,
Yeah.
and someone watches it for 30 seconds and then buys that phone on Amazon, I get a cut of that sale.
You got it. And Mayo says the commission rate for electronics is 2%.
Okay.
Now, that might not sound like a huge percentage, but let's do a little back of the napkin math here.
Right.
Imagine that 100,000 people end up buying that new smartphone.
Okay.
Even if only 5% of them watch your review before making their purchase, that's 5,000 views leading directly to a sale.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Okay.
So at a 2% commission on a $1,000 smartphone, that's $10,000
Exactly.
from just one video review. That's incredible.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Mayo points out that many products, even some of the most popular ones, have very few video reviews.
Right.
He uses the example of the Apple AirPod Max headphones.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of sales, tons of written reviews, but hardly any video reviews.
Wow, that's a huge opportunity. It's almost like Amazon is begging people to create these video reviews and get a piece of the action.
It's a brilliant way to leverage a platform that's already getting massive traffic.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who enjoys trying out new products and sharing your thoughts, this could be a really fun and potentially lucrative side hustle.
Okay, I have to admit, I'm definitely intrigued by this Amazon review hustle. But before I get too carried away, what is some of the potential downsides or challenges involved?
Well, like any side hustle, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Sure.
You'll need to put in some effort to create high-quality videos that people will actually want to watch.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And what about equipment? Do I need a fancy camera and editing software to get started?
Not necessarily. You can start with your smartphone and some basic editing apps. The most important thing is to have good lighting and clear audio.
Okay.
And as you start making more videos and potentially earning more money, you can always invest in better equipment down the line.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Right.
What else should someone consider if they're thinking about pursuing this side hustle?
Well, it's important to think about how you're going to choose the products you review.
Uh-huh.
Ideally, you want to focus on products that you're genuinely interested in
Right.
and that you think your audience would find valuable.
All right, it wouldn't make sense to review products that you have no knowledge of or passion for.
Exactly. And it's also important to think about how you're going to promote your videos and get them in front of the right audience.
Okay, how do we do that?
You can share them on social media, embed them on your website, or even reach out to other creators in your niche.
Those are all great ideas. It seems like there's a lot to learn and explore with this Amazon review hustle. I'm definitely going to do some more research on this one.
I think it has a lot of potential, especially for people who are comfortable being on camera
Yeah.
and who have a knack for explaining things in a clear and engaging way.
All right, so we've covered 3 of Mayo's side hustles so far: trash can cleaning, print-on-demand canvas art, and Amazon video reviews.
Yeah.
Each one has its own unique set of pros and cons,
Yeah,
and it's fascinating to see how they all tap into different skills and interests.
that's a great observation. It really highlights the importance of finding a side hustle that aligns with your own strengths and passions.
Exactly. You're much more likely to be successful if you're doing something you actually enjoy.
Oh,
But before we wrap up this deep dive, we have one more side hustle idea to explore.
okay.
And this one is all about capitalizing on global price differences and finding hidden gems in the vast online marketplace.
Interesting. This one is a bit more involved,
Okay.
but the potential rewards are definitely worth considering. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the world of AliExpress reselling.
All right, I'm ready. Let's see what this AliExpress hustle is all about.
So this last hustle Mayo covers is all about tapping into global markets, specifically finding products on AliExpress and reselling them for a profit on platforms like Amazon.
Okay, I've definitely heard of AliExpress, but to be honest, I always thought of it as a place to find like cheap phone cases or novelty socks, not necessarily a gold mine for entrepreneurs.
That's where the opportunity lies. Mayo uses the example of a sunset lamp. You know, those trendy lamps that project a warm orange glow?
Yeah.
He found one on AliExpress for just a few dollars and then showed the exact same lamp being sold on Amazon for $30 or more.
Wait, seriously? That's a crazy markup.
Yeah.
I guess I never realized the kind of price differences that exist between these international marketplaces.
That's the key insight here. Those price differences represent a potential profit margin for savvy resellers. The trick is to find products that are in high demand, have a large enough price difference to make a profit after shipping and other costs, and ideally aren't already saturated with competition.
It sounds like there's a real art to finding those winning products.
Mm-hmm.
How does Mayo suggest going about that research process?
He recommends working backward. Start by identifying a popular product category on Amazon, maybe something you're already interested in or familiar with. Then dive deep into AliExpress and see if you can find similar products being sold at a significantly lower price.
Okay, so let's say I'm interested in those sunset lamps. I would search for them on Amazon, see what's popular, and then head over to AliExpress to find comparable lamps at a cheaper price.
Exactly. And while you're on AliExpress, pay attention to things like seller ratings, shipping times, and product reviews. You want to make sure you're sourcing from reputable suppliers who can deliver quality products in a timely manner.
That makes sense. You wouldn't want to end up with a bunch of faulty lamps or face-long shipping delays that would frustrate your customers.
Right. And once you've found a potential product, you need to do the math factor in the cost of the product's shipping fees, any platform fees from Amazon or Etsy, and your desired profit margin. That'll give you a realistic idea of how much you need to charge to make this hustle worthwhile.
It sounds like a bit of a learning curve, but also a really interesting challenge. I can see how this hustle could be appealing to someone who enjoys the thrill of the hunt, scouring the internet for hidden gems and figuring out how to turn them into profit.
Absolutely. And remember that dental assistant who built her six-figure business? Turns out AliExpress reselling is exactly how she did it. She was essentially finding products on AliExpress, marking them up, and then reselling them on platforms like Etsy and Amazon.
Wow. It's amazing to see how that same strategy can be applied across different product categories and platforms. It really highlights the power of this reselling model.
It's a testament to her entrepreneurial spirit and her willingness to put in the work to find those winning products and build a successful business.
Okay, so let's say I found some awesome sunset lamps on AliExpress at a great price. I've done my calculations and I'm ready to start selling. What are the next steps? Do I need to set up my own website or online store?
That's a great question. There are a few different approaches you can take. You could create your own online store using a platform like Shopify, but that requires a bit more upfront investment and technical know-how. A simpler option, especially when you're starting out, is to leverage existing marketplaces like Amazon and Etsy.
I can see how that would be a lot easier and less intimidating for beginners. What are the pros and cons of selling on those platforms?
Well, the biggest advantage is that you're tapping into an existing audience of millions of shoppers.
Yeah.
People are already going to those platforms to buy products, so you don't have to worry about driving traffic to your own website.
That's a huge plus. So I could essentially just list my sunset lamps on Amazon or Etsy and start selling right away.
Pretty much. Of course, there are still some things you need to do to set yourself up for success. You'll need to create compelling product listings with high-quality photos and descriptions, optimize your listings for search so people can easily find your products, and potentially even run some ads to boost your visibility.
Okay, so there's still some work involved in terms of marketing and getting your products seen. It's not just a matter of listing them and waiting for the sales to pour in.
Exactly. But the good news is that both Amazon and Etsy offer a wealth of resources and support to help sellers succeed on their platforms. You can find tutorials, guides, and even dedicated support teams to answer your questions.
That's reassuring to know.
Yeah.
It makes the whole process seem less daunting. But I imagine competition is fierce on these platforms. How can you stand out from the crowd and convince people to buy your sunset lamps over all the others?
That's where your branding and marketing skills come in. You need to find a way to differentiate yourself from the competition. Maybe you offer a unique selection of lamps focused on exceptional customer service, or create a strong brand identity that resonates with your target audience.
So it's not just about finding the cheapest products, it's about creating a whole experience for the customer.
Exactly. Think about what would make you choose one seller over another. Is it the price, the product selection, the customer reviews, the brand story? Figure out what your unique selling proposition is, and then highlight that in your product listings and marketing materials.
So in a way, this AliExpress reselling hustle is like a microcosm of starting any business. You need to think about product sourcing, pricing, marketing, customer service, and branding.
That's a great way to put it. It's a crash course in entrepreneurship, all within the context of this one specific hustle.
It's incredible to see how all these different skills come together to create a successful business. It's definitely making me rethink my whole perception of side hustles.
That's the beauty of exploring these unconventional ideas. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities and challenges us to think outside the box.
So we've covered 4 very different side hustle ideas, each with its own unique set of challenges and rewards. From cleaning trash cans, to selling art prints, to reviewing tech gadgets, to reselling products from AliExpress, there's something here for everyone.
What's really exciting is that these are just a starting point. Once you start digging into one of these ideas, you might discover even more opportunities and variations that Mayo didn't even mention.
That's what I love about these deep dives. It's not just about taking Mayo's ideas and copying them exactly. It's about using them as inspiration to spark our own creativity and find our own unique path to side hustle success.
Exactly. The most important takeaway from all of this is to stay curious. Be willing to experiment and never stop learning. The world of side hustles is constantly evolving, and there are always new opportunities emerging.
Wow, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From the surprisingly lucrative world of trash can cleaning
Yeah.
to the creative possibilities of print-on-demand art, the intriguing potential of Amazon video reviews, and the global treasure hunt that is AliExpress reselling.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. It's amazing to see how many different avenues there are for people to create their own income streams and build a business on the side.
Yeah, and what's really inspiring is that none of these hustles require a ton of upfront capital or specialized skills to get started.
Yeah, that's what I find so empowering about the whole side hustle movement. It's all about taking action.
Learning as you go.
Yeah, figuring things out along the way.
Yeah.
It's not about having all the answers up front. It's about being willing to experiment and adapt.
Exactly. It's that entrepreneurial spirit, that willingness to try new things, to embrace challenges, and to learn from your mistakes that ultimately leads to success. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to choose just one path.
Right.
You can explore multiple hustles, combine different ideas, and really create something that's uniquely your own.
Yeah, maybe you start with trash can cleaning to build up some capital.
Right.
And then use that money to invest in a print-on-demand art business.
Exactly.
Or maybe you dabble in Amazon video reviews while you're learning the ropes of AliExpress reselling. The possibilities are endless.
It's all about finding what works for you. What aligns with your interests and skills and what you're most passionate about? Because when you're genuinely excited about what you're doing, it doesn't even feel like work. It's just fun.
It is. And that's what makes this whole journey so rewarding. It's not just about making money.
Right.
It's about pursuing your passions, learning new skills, and creating something that you can be proud of.
So as you're listening to this, I want you to think back on these 4 side hustle ideas.
Okay.
And ask yourself which one sparked your curiosity the most? Which one made you think, hey, maybe I could actually do that?
Because here's the thing, you absolutely can do it. You might not become a millionaire overnight,
Right. Right.
but with a little bit of effort, creativity, and perseverance, you can definitely start building a successful side hustle that brings in extra income, allows you to explore your passions, and maybe even changes your life in ways you never imagined.
What unique skills or interests could you bring to one of these hustles? How could you put your own spin on it and make it your own? Don't be afraid to brainstorm, to research, and to experiment. The journey is just as important as the destination.
So there you have it, 4 unconventional side hustle ideas, countless possibilities, and a whole world of opportunity waiting to be explored. Now go out there, do your research, get creative, and who knows, maybe one of these hustles will be your ticket to financial freedom, a fulfilling side gig, or even a whole new career path. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep exploring at